top. I want to focus now on nanotechnology. Is this nano dream, this nanotech fantasy, is the dream over? This NanoSys IPO, which was expected to be viewed as the best candidate for a publicly traded nanotech company, pulled this week, cast a cloud over all the nanotech prospects, at least for the time being. What does it mean for the industry? With us now, Mark Modzelewski. I always struggle with his name, but he's very smart. Managing Director, LuxResearch, co-founder of the Nanotech Business Alliance. On this very show, we paid a lot of attention to this industry. We talked about its future prospects fairly positively, and we see the best potential candidate for a publicly traded company try to come out. No demand, nobody wants it, no revenue, no earnings, they don't want to touch it. What's the problem?
I think it's a great amount of it is the markets right now. I mean, I think you can't deny that there's been 15 IPOs that have been put on hold, 3 others this week, and the whole tech market as a whole is pretty flat right now, if not down. With that said, there's also the show right before it, we heard Larry Kramer say the market's very risk adverse right now, and to have something that's built along a long-term play built on IP that'll develop products over the next 3, 4, 5 years, the market just didn't have an appetite for it, and NanoSys suffered for it this week, having to pull out its IPO.
What does that mean for other potential nanotech IPOs coming out? There are a lot of people out there who say if NanoSys can't do it, no one can.
Well, I disagree with that thinking. NanoSys is fairly unique in the sense that it is built like a biotech company, you might say, where, again, large IP portfolio, about 200 patents, great visionary team of some of the best scientists in the world involved in it. But a lot of other nanotech companies are making products today. My glasses have a nanofilm coating on them. My khakis are stain resistant. The companies that make those are already making products, millions of dollars in revenues, and they could go pretty much at any time. And they probably won't get lumped into a high-tech market and have to suffer through that. They'll be part of a consumer products market or other things as they're viewed, and probably won't have that much trouble. But I think everyone's going to have trouble right now. Because they have real products and they make real profits right now? I think right now the street's a lot more accepting of that than they are sort of a visionary play that's built a lot more like, you might have seen like a Genentech back in 1980, which, you know, IPO'd 5 years later, actually had products, now it's a $3 billion company. And that's sort of how NanoSys was built. And I think right now the markets are rather look at somebody and say, they're pumping out pants right now. They're pumping out coatings and glassings right now.
People paid dearly for the other method in the late 90s, Absolutely. So you can't blame them. What would it mean for the industry in general if they're not able to tap the capital markets in the near future?
Well, you know, the majority of nanotech companies right now that are making products haven't gotten a dime from VC and haven't gotten a dime from the capital markets at all. They have government contracts. They have contracts with large consumer companies, DuPont, Dow, GE, IBM, et cetera. And they make a decent amount of money without even having to go to these other sources for funds. What it probably would have done is allowed for a lot of roll-ups. If they had tapped the public markets, they would have started doing more acquisitions, more IP licensing, and some of that will probably happen much more organically right now than instead of big bursts.
You know, Mark, a lot of people think nanotech and they think little robots, tiny things that are going to be moving around. Why do you need nanotechnology for better pants?
Well, it's just one of the very simple applications. The truth remains in nanotechnology right now is what it ultimately is our ability to see things, do things, manipulate things at the scale of atoms and molecules. We don't really do it that well. So some of the things that we figured out how to do right now are do things like
What's
coatings.
so fancy about your pants?
Don't avoid the question. She asked the right question. What's going on with those pants, buddy?
Well, we'll go pretty simply. If you look at things like various stain fighters that we had in pants, they're pretty ineffective. They wear off very quickly, etc. So a company called Nanotex came out, and they put a coating that allows things to literally slide off like mercury. You pour things on there, it just pops right up.
Does anybody need water? Is there water? Seriously, do you have any water, Lou? You snuck
Mark's
up on.
I'll send you some samples from it.
All right. We want to try that. I want to try that.
I
want to see if that works.
Cool.
I know I got to wrap up, but real quick, is it unfair to say that the pulling of this IPO is a negative referendum on prospects for nanotechnology in general?
I'd say so. I'd say, you know, does Planet Out mean that there's no longer a gay consumer market that got pulled this week? I mean, that's a huge thriving market. And I think it's probably wrong to view it that way. But are we going to probably see an IPO from nanotech in the next couple of months? It's probably going to be a little while.
Is that water? Is that water? Can you can we put that on your pants? Are you going to be upset by that?
I'm actually afraid.
I mean, let's test the product.
I'll let me do it to my glasses. I'm actually terrified.
Do it to your glasses. We got to do it to your glasses. My
glasses are actually scratch-proof, is what they are. And I'll do this to my glasses. These are $500 pair of glasses, and I'll scratch them like that.
Can I try and scratch them?
Go ahead. Do all you want.
So that's Nanotech scratch-proof.
Do whatever you want. Run your ring across it.
They're going to get mad at us.
Okay.
That's from a company called Nanofilm.
Because you're a guest, we're not going to dump water
But
on
next
your
time you
pants.
got to bring us some
But
pants.
next time
too.
we need some
The
fabric.
shirt and everything else I'm wearing is not, which is my bigger fear.
All right, thank you very much.
Thanks so much.
Appreciate it. Mark Modzelewski, is that the right pronunciation of your name?
Modzelewski.
Thank you. I'm going to let him do it. Coming up on Bullseye, the granddaddy of all economic numbers. This is the jobs report. It's all